Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you all according to your time and locations. You'll be watching this video. Yes, my dear viewers, I am back again with another update. So guys, I have a video here I would like we all to watch. But before then, if you're meeting my channel for the very first time, you're highly welcome. Please kindly do well to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your thought on the comment section. Let us know what you think about this video, and I will see you towards the end.
Of the Nigerian Labour Congress, which has decided that it will go ahead to demand a reversal of the decision of the federal government in removing fuel subsidy and a price hike in the price of petrol. The Nigerian Labour Congress called for a protest, and their meeting point will be at the center of Abuja, at just around the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. That's where their meeting point will be on Wednesday, the 2nd of August, and they are going ahead with what they call a nationwide protest and demands that federal government should reverse some of these decisions and listen to the recommendations they made with the federal government team. Give us an understanding. This kind of decision of the Nigerian Labour Congress, it does look that they are resolute in demanding. Last week we spoke with the president of the NLC, Mr. Joe Ajero, who said that the federal government should go back to where they were when price of fuel was at about 500, over 500 naira, before the decision was made to increase the price to 610. What do you make of the decision of the Nigerian Labour?
I think it's within their right to protest. It's within the right of Nigerian Labour Congress to protest about the price hike. And again, it's also within their right to bring to the attention of government the hunger in the land and the challenge that people are facing. So one of the things that's the result of this is that the Nigerian Labour Congress is trying to also bring pressure as a pressure group on the federal, state, and local government that they should do something about the hardship in the land. And there is hardship in the land. Things have been very, very difficult right now. And the only way they think that they can get this across to government is by protesting, and which I think is their right, and we should respect them for that.
So there was a video that surfaced earlier today when we see a senator pleading with the labor union to not go on these protests or any nationwide strike action, which the labor has described as final. But if you look at the possibility or the implications of a labor strike or protest at this time, where a lot of things have been impacted by the differentials in the price of commodities, just about any commodity that you can mention. What do you think is going to be the direct implication? Should Labour go ahead with this Wednesday plan?
I think it's a very challenging time. But again, I'm not blaming the leadership of Nigerian Labour Congress or whoever is making that decision right now. Why I'm not blaming them is I think that the process have not been properly managed, also from the government side. And what I'm saying from the government side is that you were negotiating, and then subsidy have been taken off. So we expect government intervention in terms of how to make life a lot easier for the people. And then you also notice that there is no communication between the government, Nigerian Labour Congress, or the various trade unions at the federation level and the Nigerian people. Because one thing you are expecting is that the Nigerian people would have an expectation. You have to give them hope that, okay, we are making these sacrifices right now, and this is what is coming. But what they have been inundated with is, there are three things we expect from a government. You have to have effective communication, and not just effective communication, you also have to have that you are walking through that communication, and then the body language have an expectation. You have to give them hope that, okay, we are making these sacrifices right now, and this is what is coming. But what they have been inundated with is, there are three things we expect from a government. You have to have effective communication, and not just effective communication, you also have to have that you are walking through that communication, and then the body language is it. Now, if you're an ordinary man on the street and then you hear now that you are paying so much for transportation, and then the National Assembly is telling you that they are spending billions of naira wanting to get new cars for their executives, and then you also hear that, okay, they are spending another 70 billion naira or so to cushion the effect that they are going to, that is coming to them. So what you have in all of that, at the federation level, I've been through that experience before. Ajero and the various presidents are under pressure from the rank and file that you have to do something. And what the government need to do is that the government need to do something to also show that they are working to bring down the suffering of the ordinary man on the street. But so far, nothing is happening.
So they're making some proposition. For example, they're calling out their members and supporters of these idea to come out, join them at the Unity Fountain on Wednesday. The movement is supposed to begin at about 7 a.m. That's what Labour, NLC is planning. And they are asking for that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the administration, they're saying that the primary purpose of government is enshrined in Section 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic, which is the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy, which is supposed to use the resources of the nation for the interest and welfare of the people. They're also saying that the government is insensitive and unrestrained resort to what they call neoliberalism. They're accusing the government of dictatorial tendency. And what they have asked is that they also accuse the government that there is some kind of flip-flop in the manner in which they have addressed the situation. Now, their demands are pretty much straightforward. They are demanding a reversal in some of the policy. And they're saying that some of these policies are suffocating Nigerians. What do you make of the demands and the position of Labour in the face of the fact that the federal government, NLC and NNPCL, for example, had said, look, the market forces will take over. The petroleum industry law, which has come into effect a few months ago, has also going to impact directly on who can determine the price of the commodity.
Now, in terms of, I don't think what they are requesting is unreasonable. It's not unreasonable, but it's subject to negotiation. Now, if I was in the shoes of the government, what would I have done? First thing first, government would not have allowed Labour to get to this level. If you look at the rules of engagement that I expected government to have done, was immediately you are taking off subsidy, then you make your pronouncement about intervention. Cash transfer, that cannot work. And I'm hearing now you are going to do, states may likely do cash transfer. That too is not workable. Nigerians don't want cash transfer. So what would have been my option? The first option would have been, immediately I say I'm taking away subsidy, you go ahead and tell Innocent and NAMCO as I start producing vehicles, CNG powered vehicles, and give them guarantee that whatever they produce, you buy. Then you ask Leyland, Peugeot, and Ashok and say, okay, you do the intracity. Now, what will now happen is that the people now look forward, okay, buses are on their way. And when these buses are on their way, they are going to be powered by CNG. If they are powered by CNG, what will happen is that the transportation cost would be cheaper by up to 50% than what we are paying right now. So what that invariably means is that you take away the anger of the people, and you also make it difficult for Nigerian Labour Congress, TUC, or whoever, to call the people and say, we want to protest. But right now, the hardship on the street is making the people to want to look forward to something need to give. So there is still room for negotiation, but government must move beyond platitude. There must be a plan. There must be a short-term, medium-term, and a long-term plan. And the entire state, that is the federal, the state, and the local government must be at sync. Not federal government doing something different, states doing something different, and local government doing something else. That just won't cut it. So what you have now, I know Joe Ajero, I know the pressure he would have been since the pump price moved from 195 to 500 plus, and now it's 600. It's going to be 600 plus in Abuja, 500 plus in Lagos. And I can also assure you, if the current price of crude oil keep going up, by September, when the 90-day stock will have exhausted, you are likely going to pay more. We'll be looking at the range of Lagos hitting 600 plus, while Abuja may also be going towards late 600, heading towards 700. So the challenges ahead are there, but what I expect the government to do is put on its thinking cap and find a solution to this. Nigerian Labour Congress have every right to protest. But if you talk in terms of timing, my worry will be they may likely lose it on the street. That's one, because there's so much pressure. And then the secondly, you just see what is happening at Adamawa. You just reported it. Now there's no protest. People are already going to, it's not just going to NEMA's office and breaking in and moving green. And they are all shouting, there's too much hunger in the land. I'm aware that Governor Finitri also declared coffee, 24 hours coffee. The reason why some people are already breaking into shops and looting. So you can imagine when protest and strike now start, it may be something that government may not be able to control, or Nigerian Labour Congress may also not be able to control. So we need to move beyond platitude and do what is needful to make Nigerians have hope.
So, I mean, they seem to be moving ahead. They say no to anti-people policies. FG should adopt CNG as alternative fuel. Protect subsidy. FG, why are you protecting subsidy criminals? These are some of the messages they are putting out there. They say 8,000 naira palliative to household and insult to Nigerians. They're calling on the federal government to implement what they call the people-centered agreement reached by the organized labor. On a final note, with all of these demands and the plans of labor, or those who fear that if labor go ahead with these plans, there might be a possible shutdown of the system, of the economy. If there's going to be an urgent action, tomorrow is Monday, what do you think should be done? Because we understand that there was a walkout by the labor, organized labor, on the meeting with the FG on Friday.
Yes, because one of the things that have been done over time is I don't want to say whether there was lack of seriousness from government. I'm at a loss why at this point in time the federal government would have allowed labor to go ahead and issue an ultimatum. Because right now it will be very difficult for Ajero to back out. If you back out, it's going to be accused of a sellout. And then the other option for government is that government should come out with a plan and say, this is what we are doing. So what we have had over time is government is kicking the can down the road. One, invest in CNG. You just saw one of their demands now is government to invest in CNG. And when you invest in compressed natural gas, what would that do? Converting vehicles to CNG is that one, it will create more jobs. The jobs will come from fabrication. The jobs will come from dispensing, because the jobs will come from maintenance. Now, the economy needs stimulus. At the moment, there's nothing stimulating the economy. And at the moment, if you go everywhere you go, people are not happy. And I also have my worry about the protest, and I also have my worry about the strike. But the challenges now is that even the organized labor right now, the rank and file, will be up in arms against the leadership, that the leadership must do something. So the federal government have not done enough in allowing labor to go this far. Because when it moved from 195 to 515, it actually burst labor into a corner. The leadership couldn't do anything because on the street, people were like, oh, let's have this subsidy taken away and let's see what will happen. And now people have seen what is happening now, and they found out that government has not communicated enough, and government is not telling them what they would do. So right now, it's for government to now lay it out clearly. This is number one, number two, number three, and put timelines to when they will achieve all of this. And not just platitude. Government should not only just talk the talk, government will walk the talk. Thank you.
Mr. Peter Estella, a former president of the Nigeria Trade Union Congress, thank you so much.